Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Market Review and our trade plan setup for Wednesday, September the 4th, 2013. My name is Doug McKay. I'm with Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap has been around for about 4 years now. We're a private chat group, it's a Skype chat group. We've kept it flying underneath the radar for quite some time, but I'm starting to invite guests in from Twitters, and we'll talk about that later on. What we're going to do this morning is we're going to go through what our normal market homework and trade plan setup is. Each morning we come into this live session and go through the market and look for our trade plan setup. And then afterwards, we're going to leave the room open, and we're going to be trading live. We have a live trade room, and we're going to leave the room open for everybody today. Before we get going, we need to get the disclaimer out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the trades that you see live today are for education purposes. Please trade your own plan and do your own due diligence. Okay. Each morning we start out and we do this. This gets a little bit boring in the beginning because it's tedious, but it is a routine that I do each morning, and I prepare myself by looking at the macro to the micro, and we start by looking at the key numbers. This is our homework sheet. We've been keeping this for several years now, and these are all the key numbers that we watch on a daily basis, and then they're put into a daily report that has several different methodologies that we watch. And the end result is we put out what we call our QLTP to our members each day that has ladder above the previous day close and ladder below the previous day close. It's got the news, it's got a worksheet, and each of these levels are based on the different methodologies that we look at. But let's go through our regular routine, and we'll get into this a little bit deeper. So right now, the year open 1443. We have the all-time high and the year high up at 1705, and the year open at 1438 and a quarter. We open this month on Sunday at 1640 and a quarter. We have currently a month high that we put in yesterday in the RTH at 1650, and a month low that we put in yesterday in the RTH at 1630.75. Previous month open 1685.50. The previous high is the all-time high and the year high at 1705. Our previous month low 1624.75. That's also the low of our current microcomposite balance area. Our previous close was 1632.25, and we're just trading just above that right now. In terms of the week, well, the week is our month open and our month high and our month low. Our previous week open, 1660.75. Our previous week high, 1667.50. That's 2 ticks above that significant CLVN at 1667 that we're going to talk about on the composite chart. Our previous month low is our balance, our microcomposite balance low at 1624.75, and we closed at 1632.25, which was our month close. Nothing changes in the quarterlies. Going to the intraday, yesterday in the Globex we opened at 1647.50. It was a higher open. The green represents a higher number, red represents a lower number. We're looking for trends when we color code these. Our Globex high was 1649. Our Globex low was 1642.25, and we opened the RTH session at 1646.50. So we opened out of range. We had that holiday drift up and the gap up, so we opened, I think it was 8 or 9 points above the previous day open, and it was an open auction out of range. And then we broke the IB to one side, which was the downside for a normal variation day. Our opening swing high, 1649 and a quarter. Opening swing low, 1645.75 for a 3.5 point opening swing. And anything over 2 points we look as a clue to a rotational type day. Our initial balance high, which is the first hour high, 1650. Our initial balance low, 1643.75 for a 6.25 point initial balance. Between 6 and 10 is the normal initial balance that we're running right now. Our 1230 number, all numbers in here are in Central Time. Our 1230 number was higher at 1635. Our RTH high was higher at 1650. Our RTH low was lower at 1630.75. Our RTH close was lower at 1639.50. And our RTH VPOC, or the volume point of control, was 1637.25. Our range for yesterday, we had 19.25 points in the RTH. Which was the size of the full session, and our Globex was 6.75 points. Our full session high put in the RTH 1650. Our full session low at 1630.75 was also put in the RTH. Our 20-day ATRs are running just under 13.5 for the RTH, 16.5 for the full session, and just under 10 for the Globex. Our Globex open last night was at 1638. We had a European cash close yesterday, which is our 1030 number, at 1638.25. Our value area high was 1644.75, and our value area low was 1631.25 for a 13.5 point value area. Pretty large value area yesterday. And then we do a time study on when we break the IB, and we broke the IB outside of the pocket. The pocket is right from that 9:30 to 9:45 time. That's the highest probability of breaking the IB to one side. And we usually look for what we call a make and break inside the pocket. But we did break later yesterday at 10:20 to the low side. Our extended session is the new session that they started up. We track it separately. Our extended session high 1639.75. Our extended session low 1637.50, and we closed and settled at 1637.75. For a 2.25 point extended session, which is larger than our normal 20-day ATR for the ETH. And then we had larger than normal volume at 1.8 and 2.3 respectively. Going over to the daily report, no changes really in the CHVN. We traded within the balance area yesterday, so none of these numbers are really going to make a big difference. I mean, the key number you want to keep your eye on is 1637.50, and then below we've got that former microcomposite VPOC down at 1631, right next to that 1632 CHVN. No real changes in the composite low volume nodes or the microcomposite low volumes. Significant LVN for yesterday is going to be 1635. This is not right. I'm going to have to look at that on the chart. And then that 1631 naked microcomposite VPOC shifted up to 1637. So going into Friday, before Friday it was 1637, then it shifted down to 1631 on Monday, or Tuesday I should say, and then it shifted later in the day back up to 1637.50. So we're playing a little bit of a ping pong between those 2 points there. Going over to the naked crosses. Naked cross is a study that I developed a few years ago. It uses the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. When the 9 EMA crosses over the 20 SMA and price action moves away, we call that a naked cross. And it has a very high probability of the market to come back to those areas and retest that number again, or re-auction that number. So we track them on the 5, the 15, and the 30-minute for the intraday, and we use them as targets. And we took out 1633.25 yesterday on the 30-minute. We took out 1641.50, and we added 1633.75. Same thing with our naked VPOCs. We took out the naked VPOC from the prior day at 1631, and we added the new VPOC at 1637.25. Going down to the news, we had trade balance for Canada and U.S. This morning. And the next big news is going to be the Canadian Bank of Canada rate statement that comes out at 9. And then we've got Beige Book coming out at 1. And again, all these times are central times. So next thing we like to do is to look at a macro to a micro view in terms of the charts to see where we are within the trend on each time frame. I start with the monthly. You can see the monthly trend is very much intact. We've got good separation and slope of the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. Prices paralleling the 9 quite nicely. We are trading near the lows of the prior month, but we're still inside of last month's range. Going over to the weekly. You see a little bit of weakness coming in on the weekly. You can see a possible head and shoulder pattern starting to play out. We had our first close last week below the 20 SMA for the whole year. For the whole year, we have not traded below and had a close below the 20 SMA. We came down and tested it a couple times, but we haven't closed below it. This week, or last week I should say, was the first week that we actually closed below. And you can see we're trading below right now, and we're losing slope and separation and a possible change in the trend on the weekly. Going to the daily. Daily is showing a much different story. It is showing a downward trend. We are trading below the 9 EMA. We crossed over and we created this first tech gap, closed it, got back above the 9 EMA, couldn't hold it, created the second tech gap. Tech gap is when price moves away from the 9 EMA and creates a space, and the market has a tendency to close that gap either through time by going sideways and the EMA coming down towards it, or price moving back up and closing it. Usually it's a combination of both, but you can see we've created two and closed both gaps, and both times we tried to close above the 9 EMA, we failed to hold and we're back down, and we do have slope and separation to the downside, so the trend is looking like it's shifting. We do have a naked cross right here on the daily at 16. Let's call it 161175, 1612 area, which is down in a significant area below us on the composite, which we'll take a look at. Going over to the geometric chart, there's 3 forks on this page. This is the long-term fork that we've been watching for quite a while, the upward sloping fork, and you can see we came up to the center line, tested the center line, rejected the center line, and came down and tested the lower line of the upward sloping fork, broke down, tried to get back up inside and hold. We couldn't, and we broke down. The second fork is the opposing downward fork, and you can see that we came off of the top of this fork, we came down, and we're currently coming down towards the center line. But I think about a week ago I added this modified shift fork to the upside, and you can see we've got good frequency on the fork, and currently we're trading just above the lower line, and all 3 forks create an energy point right up here in that 1678, 1679 area. So I'm watching this number. But if we break below the lower line of this upward sloping fork, then I imagine we're probably going to come down and test the center line of the downward sloping fork, and that will put us down into an area that's key for us on the composite, which is that 1581 area, which is the big microcomposite VPOC down below, and we'll take a look at that on the chart. Going to the intraday just to see where the trends are on a short-term basis. The 4-hour really doesn't tell us much. We're below the 9 and the 20, but we don't have any slope or separation. We're kind of consolidating down here in this balance area between 67 and 27, which is our current microcomposite balance area. So nothing really clear on the 4-hour. Go down to a 1-hour. It still looks like the trend is down, and we tried to come back up and get above the 9 and the 20, but we've come down, although you've got a bit of what I call a foo bar type candle here, so we've got a bit of buying tail here, and we've got a naked cross on the 1 hour up here at 1638. Going to the 15 minute. 15 minute again looks like the trend is down. We do have a little bit of separation. We are trading below the 9 and the 20, so it looks like the overnight is a little bit weak. We weren't able to get back up into the upper distribution from yesterday's triple distribution day. We kind of hung out right in the middle distribution all night, and we'll take a look at that on the chart. Let's go over to the composite chart. On the composite chart, you can see that we're still trading within this blunt area of the profile, although we are getting some maturity here now. This is defining fair value at a couple different CHVNs, or composite high volume nodes. We have the 50-50 above us. We have the 44 1/4 above us. The big one, of course, is the 3750. The 3750 is also our microcomposite VPOC. My composite, by the way, goes back to 08/16/07. If you go back to that date, that is the swing low before we ran up and had that what was the former all-time high in late 2007. Before we had the big crash. So that's where all this volume comes in on the composite. And then just below us we have that 33 1/4 and 32. Now 33 is a possible VPOC shift if we get back down there, or sorry, microcomposite VPOC shift. And then below that is what I consider to be the significant CLVN at 27, and then above us the significant one is all the way really up here at 67. But I'll be using this 53.75 for above, and we were trading off of this 46.50 yesterday. We're finding this balance right here. What I'm anticipating and looking for a possibility is we have these two wicks from Friday before the holiday and then Tuesday after the holiday, and if anybody's been around in Quantum Leap, they know that when we get these large wicks, I look for the possibility of what I call getting stuck in the wicks, where we come down here and we chop around in the wicks, or I should say the tails or the wicks. But we've got big tails right now, so I'm anticipating that we'll probably come down and test the lower distribution of yesterday's triple distribution and chop around here. But, I mean, the key below us is this 27. If we get below the 27, then I think we go for a test of the microcomposite balance low at 24.75. And if we get out of that balance, the big number below is this 60. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. The big number below us is this 16.20.25, and that is the microcomposite VPOC for the larger balance area that encompasses, all of this area right here, and that goes back to 05/07 through to when we broke up and created this other balance area above at 07/17. So the most accepted price, through that timeline is the 16.20.50, or sorry, 16.20 1/4. And if we have to find more buyers with more conviction, that is and will be our next destination below. And I'll look for buyers to step in here to see if we can hold it. If we can't find buyers to hold us up, the other side of that balance is down here at 16.15.75. And if you remember, we've got that profile day that we were looking at, which was, let me just bring it up here. This profile day right here, that was the 07/05, I believe it was. Yeah, 7/5/13, and you've got that naked VPOC at 16.19, which is just below our microcomposite naked VPOC at 16.20. 20 and a quarter. And then you had a double distribution day that day, and the key LVN on that day, believe it or not, was right there at that 15, 15, 7, or 16, 15, 17. So this is the profile day that I'll be watching if we get down below that 27, and looking for it to come down and trade within those distributions and come down and test the LVN from that particular day. If we get below it, then we're back down into the 1607 area, which is just below the former microcomposite VPOC at 1608. 1608 was the most accepted price before we launched to make the run to the all-time new high. So if they can't hold 1620 and find buyers there, the next destination I'll be looking for. And you can see we've had several times that we've come down and found balance around the 1607, 1608. And then the other side of balance on that is, of course, our centennial number at 1600 and the CLVN at 16 and a quarter. And if we can't hold that, again, we were talking earlier about that 1581.75, and we can actually come down all the way down to this 1581.75 without violating the upward trend of the larger macro view. So this is nothing. This is not the world's falling apart and we're crashing. This is coming back for a normal retrace to test the trend line on the larger picture. So I'd be looking for buyers to step in. But next, if we can't hold the 81.75, then I'd be looking for a move back down to that big number below that we hung out for quite some time around at 1540.75. If we stay inside of this area here, it's all about the 1638 and 44, 45 area and 55. And I just expect us to chop around and possibly get stuck in this area as we find fair value or define fair value in this area. Let's take a look at the overnight. Overnight, we opened at 1638, just above that microcomposite VPOC and balance, and the prior day VPOC, and just sort of traded in that middle distribution. In fact, I did a chart up last night, and posted it, and basically it shows what I was how yesterday fits so perfectly within this balance area that we're in. We've got the LVNs that match up with the CLVNs. We've got the three distribution areas from yesterday, and last night we traded inside of this. We weren't able to get clearly above the 39.75 and break above the the LVN around 40. I think it's 42 and a quarter here. We'll take a look at it on the other chart and get up into the upper distribution. Around that former 47 and 44 CHVN. And we held above the significant CLVN at 35 and a quarter and LVN from yesterday, which would bring us down into the lower distribution, which will put us down in around that 31, 33 area, which is where I'm anticipating we will get another microcomposite VPOC shift down from 37.50 down to this 33 to 31 area. So let's move our numbers over and take a look at what our trading chart looks at. Each morning we go through and we transfer the key information from overnight into my trading chart for the day, which is my intraday chart. So we have an overnight high at 42 and a quarter. We have a overnight low currently at 35, and our VPOC is sitting right on our overnight VPOC is sitting right on our yesterday VPOC. Right, just want to make sure I get the It's 37.50. So currently we're trading right in the middle of the middle distribution. You know, we've auctioned that quite strongly overnight. The key area, obviously, for me is going to be this, 39 area, 39.75, which is the CLVN that I was talking about in my post last night. So I will be doing trades in this area right here. Now I have to be careful just above us because we've got this, this rejection area which is quite wide that ranges, from basically this 39.75 all the way up to 43, but we've got our overnight high as a target here, and if we break above that 39.75, then I'm looking for them to go and take out the overnight high and test the the LVN up here at 43.25. We've got that 44 area as a magnet. The value area high is at that 44.75. The value area low is down here at 31.50. So we've got a very wide value area from the prior day. So I'm not thinking that the value area, or what they used to call the 80% rule, is really going to play out today. The other area that I'm going to be looking to do business is down here again at 35.50. And with a move down towards that 33, 31 area, which is where our VPOC was. You can see we shifted the VPOC down to the 33 and then back up to the 38 and 37 area. But remember, it's also we were playing ping pong and had our microcomposite VPOC shift down from 31 up to 37, down to 31, and then back up again. So I'd be looking for a break below the 35. Again, you've got the overnight low just below there, so we could take that out. But in between here, this is going to be all chop. I think it's going to be pretty choppy. I always keep saying that, but lately we're in this area, this blunt area of the profile. It's tough trading. It's chop. But if we get below this, then I'd be looking for that continuation down to the the 33 area, and then the other area I'll be looking to do business is down here at the between the 31 and the 30.75, the RTH low from yesterday. I'll be looking to see if buyers step in to hold us inside the prior day range and look to bounce. But if we break through that, then again, my big target below is the 16.20 and a quarter microcomposite VPOC with this naked VPOC at 16.19 and a quarter. And then if we get above the prior day range, then I'll be looking to do business there as well, and looking to take out the naked VPOC at 51. We've got a naked cross at 51.75, naked close at 15.54. We still have that gap there, and then we've got another naked cross up here at 54.75, and then that brings us up to this other key area up here at 16.55, which was the microcomposite from the balance that we just fell out of. So if we get back into this, the value area low for this balance area is 47.50. So if we get inside of that 47.50, look for rotation to 50.50, and then up to test this 53.75 and take out this 55.75. If we get a rally going and we really get moving, I don't anticipate getting much more movement up, more than 55 out of it, but you've got 58 and 59 and a quarter above us, and then the big number above is 67, and then we have the 70 and a quarter, which is this microcomposite VPOC from this balance area. We came down and missed it by one tick on the way down, then we gapped it on the second time down, so it still remains naked there. And then of course we've got the 86.75, and once we get up above 67, I really believe that we'll make a run up to this 86.75 and possibly see new highs. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of my trading. I just got to go and put our other naked crosses on the chart. We have one at 38.50, and we have one at 33.75. Again, I look for these as confluence towards my targets. 33.75, and that's the only ones that I have. All right, let's see if Howard is here. Howard is here, and Howard, over to you. And Howard's going to go through his chart analysis and where we are in terms of Fibonacci and Elliott wave count. Howard, are you there?
Sorry, Doug, I won't be able to do that analysis this morning. I have a few things I need to take care of.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so let me take over presentation. And let's take a look at where we are in terms of the Keltner. This is my Renko with Keltner. Currently, we're trading right at the center line at 1638. If we stay in the upper channel of the Keltner channel, the test of the upper line will be 44 1/4. If we get below the the Keltner center line at 38, the move down to test the lower line is going to be 1631.50. Taking a look at where we are in terms of gold. Wrong gold chart. Bringing in last night's volume. Currently, right now, yesterday, if you review or you were here yesterday morning, when I got long just above 1400, and I was looking for a move up to the what was the value area high from prior, which was the 1740, which was my upper target that I was looking for. We didn't quite get there. I think we only got up to 1640. Bringing in yesterday's and overnight value, you can see that the value area high is up here at 1620. Our current microcomposite VPOC is 1396, and we're currently trading around 1693.70, so we're back below the 1400. If we stay below the 1400, I'll be looking for a rotation down here back to the former larger microcomposite VPOC at 1638.70 area. Our value area low currently is 9160. Our value area high is the 1620. If we get back above 1400 again, I think we can come up and test this value area high again at the 16 level. And but if we continue to find weakness, look for rotation down towards 88, the other side of balance down here at 82.40. And if we break out of 82.40, the big target below, as same as yesterday, is this 1366.30. So that's going to complete our daily market analysis and trade plan setup. I am going to leave the room open, for everybody. We have 3 levels of Quantum Leap. We have our regular chat room, which is our Skype chat room, and then we come together each morning to do our live analysis and trade plan setup, and then we put out the QLTP sheet. Then we have our live trade room, which is something we started. August was the first month for the live trade room. In the live trade room, I trade a 2-lot on the ES only. And I'm, not a scalper. I'm looking for continuation, and I'll trade 2 lots and fund with one and let the other one run to my targets or beyond. So stick around if you'd like to check that out. The first month trading a 2 lot, we were able to take out I think 64 3/4 points in August. Yesterday we were able to pull out 10 points on the first day, and you'll see all the good and the bad. I'm just like any other trader. I have good days, I have bad days, and you'll see me in losing trades, but I do control my risk, and I don't let my losses get big. And a lot of days I'll I'll take a full stop out on my first trade and have to work from behind, but I don't panic. I just stick to the plan. I pick my levels. I know where the market's telling me I'm wrong, and I let my runners run. I want to thank everybody for stopping in for the market review. I am posting these videos. I've created a YouTube channel now, so you'll be able to review these videos. I post them after the market closes each night. And if you find them helpful, please retweet them to your friends and your followers. And if you like Quantum Leap and you want to check it out or get more information about it, my contact information. If you want to come into the chat room and check that out, it's open 24 hours. You'll need a Skype account because it is a Skype chat room, and you can send me a contact request to Doug_McKay. And if you want to know more about the different levels, and we are doing a boot camp that we're trying to get filled for sometime here in September. The boot camp is a very intensive program that deals with the mechanics and the business side of trading. There's some fantastic tools that Howard has created. You'll see some of them in the live trade room, the theoretical calculator, the trade tracker by setup code, so that you can track all your metrics and really see where you are in trading. If you want more information, feel free to send me an email at dm@m4connects.com or give me a direct call after market closes at 519-250-5530. And if you're sending me a contact request in Skype, I am the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, because you'll come up with multiple Doug McKays. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. We've got 8 minutes to the open, and then we'll come out and see if we can pull some trades out of this market. I'm going to go ahead and shut the recording down, Mike. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.